Hello everyone, welcome to the second day of the tutorial class on artificial intelligence. It is presented by me, Dr. Sudeep Mondal, Assistant Professor of Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Jalpaiguri Government Engineering College. Okay, so in this second class, we will basically discuss about the artificial neural network. I think many of you already heard the term artificial neural network. Okay, so to understand the working principle of artificial neural network, first of all we will go through a real life example, then we will go what is neural network, and what is the biological neuron, what is the MP model, and basic neural network structure, different classification of ANN, and and moreover there is there is perceptron algorithm that will be elaborated in this tutorial class also. Okay, so consider a real life example or scenario. Most of all of you have a smartphone, and most of us we use fingerprint lock, okay, to unlock a mobile. Okay, so normally what do? We use our thumbnail or middle finger or others into the scanner or sensor of the smartphone, and it scan your fingerprint and find out if the fingerprint is already yours or for the other person. Okay, if the fingerprint matches with its database, then it will be unlocked. Also else it will show the error. Okay, so the question arises, how mobile knows that it is you or owner? Okay, so obviously we can conclude that mobiles have some kind of artificial intelligence, or it has learning capability, else it cannot identify your fingerprint. Okay, so let's see how artificial intelligence work in our real life problem. So this is the this figure is basically the real life scenario for AI based system. So for AI based system, initially we need to store or collect or accumulate data from the environment. Okay, now next objective is to collect or extract useful information from those data and store them. Okay, and this section can be called as the data translator. Okay, now the most important part is the AI algorithm. Okay, so what is AI algorithm? Basically this unit is responsible for taking correct decision or for prediction. Okay, now what this AI algorithm can do, it use this data to find out some important information from it. Okay, and we can also call it as knowledge or decision making rules. Okay, so this AI algorithm is responsible for developing those rules. Okay, and whenever we give or introduce new data, so based on that knowledge and AI algorithm, it can predict corresponding output. Okay, so this is the basically the working principle of a AI based system. Now let's see uh, how our earlier example work using AI based system. So whenever in case of fingerprint based lock system, first of all we give our fingerprint into the scanner of smartphone. So where the image of your fingerprint has been accumulated or acquired. Okay, now there are some kind of image processing technology that already inbuilt in your smartphone. Okay, so we get this type of figure. That means from this we can remove different kind of noise or others thing. Now from these images we extract different kind of features. So what is features? Features means these, there are different kind of characteristic based on which your fingerprint is different from the others fingerprint of others person. Okay, so that is called the features. Feature means the characteristic that can be used to separate person to person, separate one database to other data. Okay, because as we already know that fingerprint is unique for each human. So obviously each fingerprint have some characteristic based on that we can classify a human, a unique human beings. Okay, so now this feature, we store these features as training data. Okay, now there is some kind of AI algorithm. Okay, now we can AI algorithm is used to particularly use this information, okay, to correctly predict the other fingerprint, other person's fingerprint. Okay, so AI algorithm is is very much fascinating to us. Okay, because this algorithm is responsible for matching with corresponding user or give some kind of error result. Okay, so artificial neural network is one of the widely popular AI algorithm that is used for classification, prediction, regression, or time series prediction also. It has huge application not only in engineering but in also in others field. In case of engineering, it has huge application in electronics, computer science, civil as well as mechanical. Okay, so let's move on. So to identify the to understand the what is artificial neural network, basically we need to know the root of artificial neural network. So basically the artificial neural network is an information processing system or paradigm that is inspired by the human brain information processing mechanism. As we already know that in our human brain there are millions of neurons who are responsible for our intelligence. Okay, and based on the neurotransmitter and its electrochemical responses we can take, we can act different decision and act accordingly. Okay, so to understand the working principle of artificial neural network, first of all we need to know, we need to know the working principle of a biological neuron that exists in our human brain. Okay, now in biology we already read this kind of neuron. Okay, so this is the basically a structure of a biological neuron. You can see that the input, excitatory input, that means electrochemical signals or sensory signal are coming into this section of neuron. So these sections are called dendron, which have receptor, which can receive electrochemical signals from others neuron. Okay, and this section is called as dendrite. Okay, so there are different so using dendrite the electrochemical responses are coming and accumulate in this section. Okay, now this section is called as soma. Fine. Okay, now From soma there is a section that go towards the output end, that is called the axon. So this portion is called as axon, and the uh, connecting region between axon and soma is called hillock. Okay, fine. Now, so the total accumulated electrochemical signals are passing through axon through the end, and this end is called as action. Okay, and the end there is some kind of neurotransmitter which is called the synapse. Now using this synapse, uh, the overall electrochemical signals can be transmitted to the next neuron. Okay, you can see the synapse from the other neurons here, and here this portion is also called the synapse, that is connected at the end of the action. So what is the uh, overall operation? So electrochemical signals are collected through the dendrite or dendron and accumulate in the soma section, and the whole accumulated signals are passing through the synapse through the axon. And if the neuron receives sufficient amount of excitatory input, so it can excite next neuron by using its synapse. Okay, so it's if a neuron receives excitatory input that is sufficiently large enough, it sends a spike of electrical activity down its axon by synapse or using neurotransmitter. So this is basically the working principle of a simple biological neuron that exists in our human brain. Now, inspired from this human brain, in 1950, McCobb and Pitt proposed a model that that is known as MP model of neuron. Okay, so what is MP model, MP neuron or MP model of human brain? That is a simple artificial neural model that is inspired by the biological neuron, which have two sections. One is the accumulator section, where different kind of inputs are accumulated, and that accumulated inputs are going to the threshold section or activation section. Okay, and the output of the activation section is called as the output of the system. So here obviously you can see that inputs these inputs are corresponding to the dendron or dendrite, accumulated section corresponding to the soma section, and we can call this one is the axon, and I can call this one is the synapse section, from where from where electrochemical signal are passing to the next one. So inspired from this biological neuron, we MP model can be used. Okay, so basically MP model or a simple artificial neural model consists of two layer, like input 1, input 2, input 3, called it as layer, which consists of defined inputs. Okay, and there is the output node, and we called it as output layer. Okay, now this portion is called threshold activation function. So what is threshold activation function? Basically the operation is like this. So all the inputs are accumulated or summed up in this accumulator portion, and if the output, okay, if the output of this accumulator is greater than some kind of threshold value, or we can call it as phi, so then the output will be 1, or else output will be 0. Okay, so there is a processing unit that sum the unit inputs and applies a linear activation function. There are different kind of linear activation function, like it also called as squashing or transfer or threshold function. Different kind of threshold function will be discussed in the next slide. Okay, so this is the basically working principle of a simple neuron. There is a processing unit or accumulator where inputs are incoming, and the output of this accumulator or processing unit go to the a threshold function or linear activation function, where If the output is greater than some kind of uh, predefined threshold, then output will be 1, else the output will be 0. So there are here we define three kind of threshold function that is widely used in case of MP neuron model. First one is called binary threshold. Here the definition is, you can see that if input I greater than 0, then obviously output is 1, else it is 0. Now second one is the bipolar threshold. If the condition is what, there is two kind of output can be obtained. One is 1, another is minus 1. In case of binary we use normally 1 or 0, but here it is 1 or minus 1. So if the I greater than equal to 0, then output will be 1, else sorry, the output will be minus 1. And another thing, piecewise linear function. This is a basically sloping function. Okay, for a more for a complicated problem, this can be used. So here it can be defined as that if I greater than 0, greater than sorry, okay, there is mistake. If I greater than 1, then output will be 1, and if I lies between minus 1 to 1, then obviously the output will be I, and if I less than 1, less than minus 1, then output will be minus 1. I think this is the mistake. So it will be 1 and it will be minus 1. So ultimately we get this type of piecewise linear function. So this is the basically mathematical formulation of simple model of real neuron, or MP model. We can call it as also MP neuron equation or McLeod-Spitz equation. So you can see that the output of the accumulator is summation of I equal to 1 to n input I. So this is one of the input 1 plus input 2 plus input 3, like this. Okay, so this one is the output. Okay, now here uh, phi is called the threshold value. Okay, or neuron activation threshold. So if it is compared now, so if summation input I greater than phi, then output is 1, and if it is less than phi, then output will be 0. Okay, so obviously here we use binary activation function, simple binary threshold function. Fine. So this is called the threshold activation function. So basically this is the mathematical equation of simple neuron. But the problem, there is different feature that is missing in MP model. As we already told that it has been uh, proposed in at on 1950 almost. Okay, so basically the MP neuron model, the missing features are like non-binary input and output. Okay, so in real life problem, all the inputs and outputs mainly deals with the finite value or non-binary number. Okay, like 1.2, 2.1, like this. But in case of MP model, we only use 1 or 0. This is one of the major disadvantage. Another thing, like non-weighted inputs. Uh, it is possible that during decision making, all the inputs has not same importance. Okay, so some inputs has greater impact, some input has less impact. So in there, so here we assume that all the inputs have the same impact. So that's why I call that non-weighted inputs. Moreover, second of all, we also missing non-linear relationship between input and output. Using the MP model or MP neuron model, only simple linear problem can be modeled using this type of neuron, MP neuron. Okay, so but in real life, the relationship between input and output is much complex and non-linear in nature. So in case of MP neuron model, there is no non-linearity. Okay. Next one is the thresholding. So we don't use any kind of smooth thresholding or non-linear thresholding function. we'll see. So these are the basically disadvantages of MP model. So to overcome this problem, we will propose the artificial neural network. Okay, so artificial neural network basically that consists of weighted input. So first, so to understand what is weight or weighted inputs, let's consider a real life fact. So whenever you want to choose your career, so you will listen, listen of many person, like you first choose first listen to yourself what you want to do. You can also listen to your teachers, your friends, your neighbors. Okay, but taking uh, uh, all kind of discussion with equal importance may lead to you incorrect career choosing. So obviously you have to listen, or you have to select your career on some kind of priority basis. Like you have to give more priority to yourself, then you have to give priority to your parents, then you have to listen to your teachers, then friends, then neighbors, like this. Okay, so you should take a decision based on the priority or importance of everybody. Now this priority and this importance is called as weight. So what is the necessity of weighted inputs? Basically, it will make a great impact on taking correct decision. So inspired from this fact, the basic artificial neural network structure has been proposed. Okay, so here input section it is followed by a weighted section. That means input are multiplied by weight. Okay, so in basic artificial neural network, uh, there are weighted inputs. Okay, and in basic artificial neural network, the inputs are weighted, and the effect that each input has decision making is depending on the weight. That means the output is basically depend on those weight. Here you can see that x1, x2, xn, these are the input layer, and y, this one the output, we call is output layer, and x1 are the followed by w1, w2, wn, we call it as synaptic weights. Okay, and it has great impact on the output. And similar to the MP neural model, there is a threshold accumulator where all the weighted inputs are accumulated, and again it goes through a threshold activation function. But here we use some kind of different function that is called the sigmoid function. Okay, which performs some kind of mathematical operation on the basis of sum of weighted inputs. Now what is that activation function, that will be explained in the next slide. So now clear, you can again I repeating the basic structure of artificial neural network. So it consists of input layer, it consists of output layer, there is a processing unit that consists of accumulator and the threshold activation function, and which is nothing but a sigmoid function. All the inputs are weighted, and these weights have great impact on the output. Okay, so you can if you give the mathematical analysis, so consider the output of the accumulator is I. So here I can be given by like this: x transpose of x matrix multiplied by w. So this is nothing but x1 w1 plus x2 w2 plus up to x and wn, and we can give like this: I equal to 1 to n summation of I equal to 1 to n x I into wi. Okay, so this is, and it goes to the activation function or threshold activation function. Okay, phi is the threshold level. So here we use sigmoidal function, which is s function, and it can be defined like this: y, if y equal to fi, where I is the this one. Okay, so it will be 1 by 1 plus e to the power minus alpha I. Okay, and it lies between 0 and 1. Okay, so depending on the value of alpha, the shape can be changed, like strictly increasing, or strictly decreasing, like this. Okay, so the slope or the increasing factor can be controlled by this operator alpha. So but by default value of alpha can be settled as 1. Okay, so this is the optimal value. We can take another value also. Okay, so this is the major difference. You can see the major difference of ANN structure with the MP model, that there is weight and we use a nonlinear activation function, that is sigmoidal function. Okay, so we get the ultimate output after the passing through this sigmoidal function. Another important feature that is introduced in case of artificial neural network, that is use of bias. So normally there are inputs like x1 and that is followed by w1. So weighted inputs are x1 w1, x2 w2, x3 w, like this. And apart from these inputs in accumulator section, there is another by default constant has been added, that is called the bias. Okay, so bias is not like the intercept added to the linear equation. Okay, so basically it is a constant that has been added so that the input can be so that uh, input can be uh, fit based with the given data. Okay, now what is fitting and what is the training, that will be discussed later. So right now we can conclude, or we can say that bias extra additional constant term has been included into the accumulator section. That is not input from the environment, but this is the input of a system by default value. Okay, but similar to the w1 w2 w3 wn, bias value can be also adjusted, also has to be adjusted. So it is additional, we can just give definition like this: it is an additional parameter or constant in the neural network which is used to adjust the output along with the weighted sum of the input of the neuron. Okay, and it helps the model in such a way that it can fit best with the given data. So this is basically ultimate artificial neural network structure. Now coming to the next slide, the classification of ANN. So we can classify ANN into two types based on its feedback or based on its signal travel. Okay, so first one is the feed forward artificial neural network, and second one is the feedback artificial neural network. As the name suggests, feed forward, that means it allows signal to travel in forward direction, that means in only one way. That means there is no loop from output end to input end. Okay, so output does not affect the input of the same layer. Okay, so this is called the feed forward ANN, and the application of this type of ANN is like classification, male or female identification, pattern recognition, handwriting identification, etc. Whereas in case of feedback ANN, the signal can travel in both direction, like from input to output ends and from output towards the input end. That means feedback neural network can have loop or should have loop in their structure. So feedback neural network are dynamic and their states are changing continuously. So what is the application of feedback artificial neural network? The application are like weather forecasting, time series prediction, stock exchange like petrol diesel value, uh, petrol diesel price, like the price of the petrol diesel tomorrow, that is also dependent on the previous data. So if you want to predict the petrol diesel price, so obviously there should be some kind of feedback from output to towards the input end. So this kind of neural network are called feedback artificial neural network. Now we can classify uh, feed forward artificial neural network into two types. One is single layer feed forward neural network. Okay, so single layer feed forward neural network is basically a simplest artificial neural network, uh, which consists of basically input layer and output layer. Okay, this one are the input layers and this one is the output layers, and here these are the weights. Okay, W1, W12, W13. Here, why do we call it neural feed forward neural network? If there are multiple number of outputs in that case, all the inputs are connected to the each of the output node. Okay, just remember this thing. So it is not possible that for all problem output node is one, is only one. That may be for particular problem output may be possible, different output is possible. Okay, one or two. So in that scenario there will be multiple output node. Okay, so this one the input nodes, this one the output node. So in case of feed forward artificial neural network, all the input nodes are connected with the or each of the output node. Like this one, if this is on the this one the output node 1, so W11, W21, Wn1. Okay, this one the second, so weight of this W12, uh sorry, W12, W22, that means W22 means the weight between second output node and between second input node. Okay, this is Wn2. And similarly W1m, this one is the Wn2, and this one is Wnm. Okay, like this. So this is on the basically single layer neuron, and it is also known as the perceptron. Okay, so the question arises, sir, what are the processing unit section? That means accumulator and activation threshold activation function. So obviously by default there is accumulator and threshold activation function inside it. To represent in similar simple way, so we just omit them, but by default they are existing. Okay, now second type of feed forward neural network is the multi-layer feed forward network. So in case of multi-layer feed forward neural network, similar to the earlier cases, there is input layers and there is output layers, and each of these layers called input layer neuron or input layer nodes. uh, in case of multi-layer feed forward neural network, there is another layer, intermediate layer, that is called as hidden layer, and the nodes are called as hidden layer neurons. Okay, so it is possible multiple number of hidden layer with multiple number of hidden neurons. Okay, so this type of structure is called as multi-layer feed-forward neural network. Okay, so here instead of the signal initially go from input neurons to the hidden layer neurons, and from there it goes to the output layer neurons. Okay, and similar to the uh, earlier cases, in all of the incoming of inputs there are accumulator section and threshold activation function, and there are bias already. So here for this neuron, these are the inputs: b11 into x1, b21 x2 plus bn1 xn. Okay, so plus by there is some kind of bias, and from the output it goes to the threshold activation function, and that value goes to the next one, like output node, this one and this one. Okay, and obviously this like m number of suppose m number of hidden layer are present here. So the output of the mth hidden neuron will also go to the all the output nodes, like uh, this will go to this one, this will go to the second, this one go to the this and this. Okay, so this type of structure is called, like, here you can see that number of hidden neuron is L, number of input neuron is L, number of hidden neuron is M, and number of output neuron is N. So we called it as LMN structure, multi-layer feed forward neural network structure, where we have one hidden layer that consists of m number of hidden neuron, and it input layer consists of L number of neuron, and output layer consists of n number of output neuron. Okay, and each node or each neuron is interconnected with others. Okay, so this is the basic architecture of multi-layer feed forward neural network. This is most important because this type of structure is widely used for classification purpose. Okay, now question arise, what is the use of introducing this kind of hidden layer along with the inputs and outputs? Okay, so to understand that, first of all, let's see two types of input and output relationship. One is linear separable patterns, another is non-linear separable pattern. So suppose this one called the linearly separable patterns. If we plot inputs along x-axis and plot y output along y-axis, and corresponding output value, if we plot this like this, and if we can draw a line or plane that can separate two output, then we can call it as linearly separable pattern. Suppose a particular problem can have two type of output. Consider a gate and gate. So it is possible that it has two output. One is 1, another is 0. Consider s1 is 1, s2 is 0. Now if we can draw a plane or line that can separate 1 at 0 portion, so then we can call it as linearly separable pattern. Here you can see that you can draw. So this is the this type of problem called as linearly separable problem. Whereas in if this type of shape can be achieved, so that will be called as non-linear separable pattern. That means we cannot draw a line or plane throughout the in between s1 and s2, so that we can uh, differentiate s1 portion and s2 portion completely. Oh, we have to draw a non-linear or curve, but we want to draw a linear or line, draw a line or plane. So non-linear separable patterns is nothing but it is due to the non-linear relationship between input and output. Okay, here we can see that we can conclude that here the relationship between inputs and outputs are linear in nature. Okay, in real life, in real life, most of the problems or all of the problem are non-linear in nature. Okay, that means in real life problem the relationship between inputs and outputs are non-linear in nature. Okay, so obviously, so for that kind of problem, if we want to use artificial neural network as classification tools or AI algorithms, so obviously simple artificial neural network structure, that is single layer feed forward neural network, will not be able to classify accurately. Okay, so for that purpose we have to use multi-layer feed forward neural network, or we have to use multi-layer feed forward neural network. We have used hidden layer, extra hidden layer. To understand more in details what is the non-linear problem or non-linear relationship between inputs and outputs, we call it as XOR problem, which is classic AI problem. XOR problem is nothing but a non-linear relationship between input output of XOR gate. Okay, now suppose consider, first of all consider AND gate. So this is the truth table of AND gate. So we can see that if one for input 1 and 1, output will be 1, and for all others case the output will be 0. Now if we plot x1 x2 along with the output, so for x equal to 1 and y sorry, x2 equal to 1 and x2 equal to 1, output will be 1. So we get this region. For others cases, all others this are represented by 0, like okay, like this. Okay, so positive point denote the 1 and negative arts denote the 0. So you can easily draw a line between them. Okay, so AND gate can be modeled by using simple single layer feed forward neural network. Okay, where the relationship between input and output of gates are linear in nature, and gates are linear in nature. But if we consider the case of XOR gate, So in case of XOR gate, for 0 0 output is 0, and for 1 1 output is 0, and for 0 1 and 1 0 output is 1 1. And if we plot them, like consider this one is 0 0 0, the output is 1. Okay. Sorry, output is 0. So if we for output 0, we denote by dot like this. For output 1 1, output is also 0, so we give another 0 is represented by this field dot. And for 1 0 and 0 1 combination, the output is as 1, and we express them uh, using this type of dot. Okay. So now, uh, can we draw, now tell me, can we draw a plane or line to separate 1 or 0 output? Can we draw? No. If you draw like this, obviously this one 1, this one 1, and but in this section, in this part there is 0. If you draw like this, like this region, so this one 0, this one 0, but this one 1. If you draw like this straight vertical line, so there is 0, there is 1, another side there is 1, 1, this is 0. So we cannot completely separate 1 or 0 by using a single line or plane. So this type of problem is known as the nonlinear separable problem. Okay. So this is called as XOR problem. Now to solve or to model XOR gate using neural network, we have to use multi-layer feed-forward neural network where there is some kind of hidden layer. Okay. Now the purpose of using this type of hidden layer is that it can able to model the non-linearity that exists between input and output. Okay. Why? Because you can clearly see that this one is the hidden layer, so all the inputs is going to this node, and here there is activation function and the summation part, and output of this node it automatically go to the next one. So using this hidden layer, the non-linearity has been introduced. Okay. So this is the basically the purpose of using hidden layer. Now coming to the next, feedback artificial neural network. So what is artificial neural network? Uh, Here we already told that there is a loop that exists between output end and the input end. Okay. To model the time series data, real life time series data, that means where the value of data is has been can be changed with respect to time. So for those kind of data, we can use this kind of this kind of feedback artificial neural network. So where output of a neuron is feedback into the itself as input. Okay, that means it has a feedback link between output end and the input end. Okay, so it can be used for the time series prediction like weather or the price of petrol and diesel. Okay, now coming to the learning algorithm. What is learning algorithm? For real life problem, for a particular problem, the value of weight and bias are unknown to us. So basically, we have to select weight and bias with very caution. Okay, because based on the value of weight and bias, the output or decision can be changed. Okay, so selection of these parameter for a particular problem is nothing but learning or training. Okay, so for learning or training, we need some kind of data that is called the training data. Okay, so we need some kind of algorithm to know the value of this weight and bias. Okay, so training and learning algorithm is nothing but how to get optimal value of weight and bias so that we can achieve optimal or satisfactory accuracy for a particular problem. That is nothing but learning algorithm. So you can see that we have to get initially data. Okay, so then we can train the machine, we can build a model, then predict outcome. So for the suppose the consider the first scenario, that means we are talking about the fingerprint lock. Remember, whenever we using the fingerprint lock system, initially we give five number of sample of your finger. So that is the initial data. Now uh, this that fingerprint, that initial sample of your fingerprint has been used as the training data. Okay, now your smartphone has some kind of algorithm, AI algorithm, that can use the data and train itself. Okay, and build a model. Suppose there is here you can use the artificial neural network. Okay, build a model. Okay, so it can by using artificial neural network and corresponding training algorithm, the corresponding weight and bias can be adjusted, so that it can clearly predict that the next time whenever you press your fingerprint on the scanner, it clearly predict that it is you or else or others person. Okay, because whenever others person give fingerprint on the scanner, the corresponding features will not match, and corresponding database will not match, and corresponding error message will be shown, and phone will not unlocked. Okay, so basically we need some kind of algorithm which is very important to us. Now as perceptron is very this is basically with perceptron learning algorithm. Okay, so perceptron learning algorithm means using this algorithm a perceptron uh, can identify or set its weight and bias value. So there is basically lots of steps. So initially we have training data like x0, x1, xn like this, and we have also the bias input which find out. Okay, now initially, as we don't know the actual what will be the optimal value of the weights, so initially the random weight are given. Okay, so all the values are set, all the values of weight and bias are set to the random value, and based on that we get some kind of output of the accumulator section like net j equal to I equal to 1 to n xi wi. Okay, now for perceptron, simple perceptron, we know uh, that the activation function is applied, and if that value greater than 0 it is 1, and it is less than 0 this will be 0. Okay, now basically compare we can compare this out. Yj is the actually calculated value, but actual output value may be different. So now the computed value is compared with the target output. Okay, so if all the input patterns have classified correctly, then output the weight we can stop there, and we can say that this is the final weights. But if if the pattern with the output does not match with the computed output, so in that scenario we have to update the weights. So if we have to update the weights, so how can we update that? So if computed output yj equal to 1 but should have been 0, so in that case we have to reduce the value of weight. So in that case wi equal to wi minus alpha into xi, where xi is the input, and alpha is the learning parameter. Okay, that means how fast a program can learn. So value of this parameter normally set to 1. Okay, so if the computed output is 0 but there should have been 1, so the output will be correspondingly wi equal to wi plus alpha x. That means we have to increase the value of weights. So like this. So this will be continuous. So after this will be continuous until unless we get the accurate result. Okay, so basically this is the simple perceptron. So there where there is no hidden layer. Okay, why there is no hidden layer, and we consider only a binary um, problem. Okay, where there is output is that means output is in term of 1 or 0. Okay, so in real life it is not simple as that. So to next we can see the perceptron learning tool is has been updated. Okay, to deal with the real life data. Okay, so here instead of so here you can see that wi plus alpha x, basically this one represent the change in the weight. Okay, change in the weight, it was toward negative direction, and it is toward the positive direction. Okay, so here instead of using simple plus minus alpha xi, you can calculate the error in between actual output and computed output, and we call it as dp, that means difference between target and actual output. Now we define change in output like this. Delta Wi is TP minus OP, that means targeted value minus calculated value multiplied by IPI, training data. Okay, that is nothing but minus dp into pi. So you can use this type of rules to update the weights and bias value. So this will be continued continued for a particular problem until unless we get the satisfactory accuracy. Okay, so here you can see that after step 7 we have to go into step 3. So again we are uh, after updating wi, again we calculate net j, again we are calculating either it will be 1 or 0. If it will not match, again we will update it, but if it match, okay fine, we will stop there and we will show that this is the corresponding weight value and corresponding output is for this. Okay, and we can use that we can at that point we can tell that, or we can conclude that neural network model has been trained, and that model can be used further for prediction or classification purpose in future or for new training data. Okay, so coming to the conclusion section, so what we learn in this tutorial class is we get the basic idea of artificial neural network as it is inspired from the biological neuron. So initially we have to understand the structure of the biological neuron of human brains. Then we have to we have created some model based on the biological neuron. Okay, and we have also give some kind of mathematical expression according along with it. Okay, and we have also known different kind of artificial neural network structure like feed forward or feedback neural network, and we can also known that introducing the hidden layer non-linearity between input and output layer can be achieved. Okay, so and we have also known that use of different ANN. That means when can we use multi-layer feed forward neural network and when we can use feedback neural network. And ultimately we have give a simple perceptron learning algorithm. So learning algorithm is nothing but to know the final or optimal value of weight and bias, so that we can conclude, we can tell that ANN model has been trained and that can be used in future. So that's all from these classes, and in the upcoming classes, in our upcoming class of neural network, we will emphasize different learning algorithms, and we also explain and implement a real life classification problem using artificial neural network with the help of MATLAB. Okay, so these are the few reference that has been used for this purpose. And if you have any question, please post your queries in the YouTube video, or you can also post in the Google Classroom. Okay, thank you. Hope you have now get a brief idea about what is artificial neural network. Thank you.